Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam Rasulillah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Women like to play games. They like to play with toys. Now, it's not the type of toys you think. It's not a train or some sort of board game. These toys are basically personal toys, private toys that society has built for quite some time now to help women to, well, please themselves, to help women to take control of their sexuality and their desire. Well, to help women also to deal with strong desires and not, according to many people, the reason is to not commit zina. It's better. It's better to just do this than to commit zina. While this might seem like a very good explanation, it is definitely a lie because women suffer on other levels when it comes to this horrible thing. So let's explore. I've done already videos on this many times. And yes, I did receive backlash because no one's willing to talk about this elephant in the room. But hey, the elephant is there and it's not going away. And if you look at the um, sexual toys market and economy is huge. Not to mention that now they have this way of sending these things by protecting your identity. They've obviously found ways of covering it. And it is something that sadly women use a lot. Now, women, Muslim women, have not been spared from this musibah, and many of them have fallen into it. And I work with these cases and I deal with these problems, and I know what are the outcomes. Now, to a lot of people, a lot of women will be like, oh my God, I can't believe it, this and that. But that does not stop the reality of what's happening. Many women get through university, first few years of work, because society and their family has pressured them to go and do these things by using these toys. In their mind, they've fallen into the narrative that, hey, it's not as bad as zina, it's not as haram, it helps me. I won't get pregnant. I can still do what I need to do. And then, inshallah, I'll get married when I finish all these things and I'll just quit these things. All these explanations are just rational explanations, but they're not actual evidences. They're not actual realities. It's just for people to feel better about themselves. So, again, a unpopular truth and fact is that many Muslim women use these toys, these dildos, these vibrators, and there's such a huge variety to the point that it gets monstrous. It becomes disgusting how bad it gets and how it can destroy women. But of course, those who are creating these toys, those who understand female behavior, who study female behavior online, cookies, guys, be careful of the cookies, accept all cookies. People study it to make money. They understand. Why do you think that you right away get a pop-up of something that you were thinking about throughout the whole day? Maybe you researched a little bit. They're always watching what you're doing. So, obviously, so is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But what we're trying to understand here is that, well, yeah, there's a variety of these toys. And women opt for these things in their mind. Look, I can't. What can I do? I cannot get married right now. What can I do? I have desire. It's better than this. It's better than that. Shaitan is a very smart person. It's a very smart jinn. Okay, he's a very smart. He has experience in a sense, and he knows how to give you enough for you to just be satisfied and be in your mind to justify what you are doing. Okay, so but the thing is, everything comes at a cost. While Shaitan lied to you, he didn't tell you also what the outcomes of this are. So women use these high frequency machines. Some worse than other, some just on the outside, some are actual penetrative. To a point where some of my clients have asked, like, well, does that count like a body number, like a body count? Because I've had like 5 or 6 different ones. Does that count like having 5 or 6 different men? In a sense, no, but also yes. And I'll explain how. See, while everything comes at a cost, the most immediate cost is that women change due to these toys. There's a connection between that event and that thing and what the brain likes and how it climaxes, how the dopamine is lifted. There's a certain neural process, a neurological process that takes place that is not known right away. You can't really tell, obviously. You just feel good, you just feel the orgasm, and that's it. But as the years progress, if you've gone to second, third, fourth year of university, you might want to go for a master's, maybe a PhD. Maybe you do research, then you take your first 3, 4 years of work. Now you reach the age of 28, 30, and so on. As a woman, Muslim woman in hijab, yes, it happens. Yes, hijabis, niqabis, a lot of them who go through universities. What do you think, guys? You think women don't have desire? Not to mention, when they ovulate, is almost uncontrollable desire. How do you think they get through it? Through just fasting? Most of them don't fast Monday and Thursdays. Most of them don't fast the fast of Sayyidina Dawood alayhi salam. The reality is a lot of them masturbate, they read pornography, and they watch stuff, and they use these toys. Sad to say, but people need to understand the damage and the problems. How is it this linked in this video? And by the way, if you like this video, make sure you hit those links in the description, support the dawah. Well, I'll tell you what you need to understand and what are the solutions. Well, let's go into understanding more of the consequences. While women destroy themselves, literally, physically destroy their private part, they fry it at those high frequencies that those batteries can provide, not to mention the sizes that are monstrous, unhuman. Um, Remember, women can actually pop babies out of that thing, right? So it's really, it expands. But it also has an element of lack of barakah because it's haram. So what happens is now, 28, 30, obviously they enter the marriage market. They start blaming men for not being real qawwams and not marrying her even though she's a strong woman. Are you afraid of a strong woman? Yes, I've done this and masters and PhD and I work and I'm a boss babe. Oh, you're a coward. You can't marry me. Look at me. You have to provide for me. What kind of Muslim man are you? All the shaming. Well, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. With many men, it does work. And finally, that fool will fall for it and he'll marry that girl. And then, well, they'll have their intimacy. And after a few months, well, they come either for counseling or she goes and complains to her family or to her friends. Bottom line is, the brother is not able to satisfy her. And of course, the blame will be on him. Oh, he's little, or he's this, or he's that, or he's not good, he doesn't know, and this, and this, and this, and this. While in reality, she's fried her vagina. She has really fried her private part for years. It starts sometimes in the age of 16, 17, 18. By the time you're 30, you're looking pushing about 12 to 15 years of that kind of behavior quite a few times a week. And now she looks at the man and says, well, you cannot do this and that. Well, how can he compete with that piece of sometimes metal, sometimes plastic, sometimes rubber, sometimes another material, all kinds of things, shapes and forms, and even names and weird, thoughts that you probably cannot even imagine, and you shouldn't even. But that's the truth. And the blame all goes on the man. Oh, you can't do this, he can't please me, yeah, because you destroyed yourself. And many men don't even know what's happening. They don't even know that their wife cannot climax. And some foolish men fall into the directive of their wives, and probably with the help of shaitan, to actually start using these toys in their lives. She says, well, you can't really please me, but I have an idea. I read somewhere, yeah, right, that we can use a toy. And sadly, some du'at and some simpy guys have messaged me saying that I'm making halal haram. Astaghfirullah. They're saying basically that my talks on this subject, talking how it is haram, they're saying that I'm changing the Sharia. Well, to be honest, you are foolish. And if you want to fry your wife and you're not a man and you don't know how to satisfy her, that's fine, but don't generalize it onto other people. Sadly, some men are not even shy to be online with their wives in hijab, talking about these toys and how they use them, also how to clean them and how to take care of them. What an emasculated process. But many foolish, simpy men fall for it because, well, yeah, their wives was used to this for so many years. Here comes Mr., average, and now he cannot compete with that 100%. He cannot. Not just that, he gets fooled into believing that it's okay. And then again, sadly, these muftis, backyard muftis, talking about how it's permissible to do this and it's not really, it's mubah and this and that. Okay, all right then. Let it be then. You guys do your thing. Bottom line is, my dear men, don't ever settle for this. Don't ever allow your wife to talk about this and bring that into your marriage. Ever. Zero. If she wants to, if she does it, if she pushes you, peace out, man. Where's your dignity as a man? And make sure, that's why I always say, man. Now, I'm not saying all women in ba'd al-dhanni ithm, but there's a high chance of women who are going to university and have gone through the age of 28 that they have peaked at certain things and done certain things. Just like men also. It could be, right? But we're talking about women today because not too many people talk about this issue. So you need to know. That's why many men don't prefer to marry these educated girls and these work girls. That's why many men try to go as early as possible so they can actually, well, have an actual proper relationship with someone who's not been penetrated by some plastic, right? So, do you blame men for that? Oh, of course you do. So, bottom line is, my dear brothers, learn from this. Learn to know where to position yourself and what you want and how you vet, and understand that there's a chance that if you marry a woman 28, 30, and she's been going through master's, PhD, work, and so on, that there's a slight chance, quite a big chance actually, that she's also experienced certain things. Even if she'll say, no, I've never been with another man, that's fine. She's truthful. She's never been with another man, but she's probably been with another piece. Okay, and women know how to word themselves and how to say that, no, I've done that. I'm a virgin. Of course, well, yeah, that might be, uh, depends on what the definition is, by the way. So, sisters, look, obviously you have desires and it's not easy to control. Who expects you? That's the funny thing. The guys are also funny, man, because they think that women have no desires. You know yourself. Why do you put yourself in the situation? Get married as soon as possible. Get pleased properly in an actual, sexual intercourse, correct way, and really experience intimacy properly, as opposed to a plastic thing that just gives you a electrical shock. Don't be fooled by shaitan and society that you have to go through all this high educational process and delay marriage and then when you're gonna destroy yourself and then blame men for it. Push and demand from your family that you get married earlier. Push and demand that you want to be a traditional wife. Push and demand that you want to do the right thing. Okay? This is very important for you. And stay away from these things. Even if, may Allah protect, I would be like, fall on certain things. Don't ever go to these things. Don't ever. It will destroy you. And society is pushing on you, giving you all kinds of lies to justify this kind of actions. Look at the marketplace of these things. Look at the trend. Look at the economics of these things. How many women buy it? And then they blame men that they don't know what they're doing and so on. It's not fair. It's not fair on yourself to destroy yourself like that. It's not fair on yourself to fall for this propaganda and for this conspiracy. Be careful. That's why marrying early is the solution. Other solution, you won't be, once you've used that, it's so hard to get back to normality. Brothers, don't allow your wives to ever go into that stuff. Brothers, don't ever take a woman who's had that kind of stuff because you're never going to be able to please her. And sisters, get back to the Quran Sunnah. Brothers, get back to the Quran Sunnah. Parents, allow your children to get married as early as possible. Push for the Imams. Preach this on the mimbers, guys. Come on, teachers of Islam, preach this on the mimber. Stop falling into the colonial mindset, the slave owner mindset. That we need to do this and wait and take our time and education and work and this and that. Everything. I'm not against education. I'm not against work. I'm not against development. But remember, everything comes at a cost. And in this issue, that is the cost, that it destroys marriages. It destroys a woman's private part. A man will not be able to compete with that. May Allah protect. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Barakallahu fikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.